Hello esteemed colleagues, in this tutorial video we'll review functional buttons in the stock section of the stock and purchase module of the WAYL system. First of all, you will need to access stock section. It can be accessed either from the main page or from the left side menu. Functional buttons are located in the top right corner of the page. First button is Add New, and as you can understand, its function is to add new position in stock. After pressing this button, pop-up window will appear, prompting you to fill necessary information. First field is name, and its mandatory field: enter the name of the unit. Catalog name and number in catalog fields are related to the same information. As you understand, companies usually take positions in stock from some kind of catalog, like IMPA for example, or some internal catalog created manually. You should enter the name of catalog and number of position from this catalog for your newly added item. Please pay attention that all data previously entered in catalog name field will appear as a list when you will start typing text in this field. Next field is called Type, where you can enter type of the item, but it's not a mandatory field, so can be blank. Serial number field is not mandatory too, it's just for your information and can be used if item has a serial number. Manufacturer field allows to enter manufacturer name and also can be used for later grouping by manufacturers. Please pay attention that all data previously entered in this field will appear as a list when you will start typing text in this field. Inventory number field is created to link stock catalog section and regular stock. Stock catalog is a unique catalog created by office employees and it's common for all vessels. So if you want to add item from this catalog, you must enter inventory number from this catalog. Purpose is that if main catalog will be changed, these changes will apply for all vessels and offices at the same time. Usually this is used after adding a new item on item editing stage. A unit drop-down list is to select units, for example kilograms, meters, boxes, packs, etc. And to the right side from this list you can enter price per your selected unit if necessary. Part number field can be taken from your internal catalog or common ones. Department drop-down list is mandatory to select. There are 3 departments: deck, mechanic and electrical mechanic. Select the appropriate one. Current location field is not mandatory, but it provides additional information for queue or office employees about location of the item, for example on deck, or any other information that may help others to find item. ROB field means remaining on board, and as you can understand, you must enter how many units are currently on board. Minimum required amount field is used for specific items that always should be on board, like medical supplies for example, and there should be at least amount that you will enter in this field. Next, you will see 3 checkboxes, marking this item as a specific, class related, EAIPP related item, and have expiration date. With first 2 I guess everything is quite clear. They will mark an item as either class related or EIAPP related, and you can use this later to filter such items, since they are quite important. If you will tick Have expiration date checkbox, it means that this item cannot be used after expiration date. And also, you are not entering this expiration date on adding new items tab. It's because you can add new item, but it doesn't mean you have it in stock. And most likely you will not know expiration date until reception of the item. Also, the same type of items can have different expiration dates. So this is information that is being filled upon reception of items, and we will review it in upcoming video about editing items in stock. Next field is cause of change, and it's not mandatory on adding a new item, but it will become mandatory if you are making changes to existing item. you need to enter the cause of making changes, so later such actions could be tracked. Category is being selected from previously created categories that you can see on the left side in stock. You can either enter name of the category manually or select it from the list using button with arrows. Budget code is being taken from purchasing module, and we will speak about it in more details later. But you need to know that this code is being created by office employees and is used to plan budget later and divide expenses by categories. Again, you can enter value manually or select it from the list using button with the arrows. Last field is attachments. You can upload manuals, photos, descriptions, etc. Don't forget, there is a 5 megabit limit for the attachments to avoid huge traffic usage. Lastly, there are two buttons on the bottom of pop-up window. Archive button is desired to show you changes made for this item, but for newly added item it will not work since there are no changes. And of course, last button is save. If everything is correctly filled, you will get notification about successfully added new item. Next button is vessel requests. Upon pressing it, the pop-up window will appear, showing you requests for items from any available vessel. You can select which vessel you would like to view and necessary order. Also, there is a search field, so we can search by the name of item. Print button allows to create report on vessel requests, but there is another type of report called delivery list. Since such report is being created just for a single order, when you will select such order, additional button will appear called print delivery list. On the right side of each item in the list, there is a checkbox. It allows to select items that will be included in delivery list. And last button is print. As you understand it is for creation of the report, please pay attention that filtering checkboxes will affect this button. For example, if you will mark as active stock price checkbox, then you will be able to see this column in the report, or if you will select class related checkbox, then only class related items will be shown in the report. Hope this information will be helpful. Subscribe to keep in touch for upcoming videos, and thanks for watching.